I'm Mike Griffiths, and I'm just gonna give you an overview of the online program, and so you can see me at the same time, so you know who you're talking to if we end up talking about it or if answering questions. So I'm just showing you the online website. So online.byuh.edu is the name of the website. When a student comes to this website, they would click on online only students if they're not on campus. And then this site has all the information necessary to begin the process. As you hover over any of these big buttons, it will give you information. We try to simplify this information to be as small as possible. It tells you that the cost is dependent on the country where you live, the cost per credit. It explains the workload in classes, how much workload to expect per credit. It explains the classes we offer, and if you click on any of these buttons it will take you to another page. So for example, I could click on the classes and it will take me to the page that explains all of the classes and a brief description of them all. And not every class is available every semester, but this is the list of our classes, and then it explains a little bit about what classes are alike as far as time scale is concerned. And then hover over the English tab, it tells me about the English test that students will need to take if they're not natural English speakers. Also, if I hover over this, it explains that what you need for technology, and this one explains what a semester is. That's an American terminology for a term, and it explains what that means. And then the green button is when you're ready to apply. There is other information. There's a button to click on for information about the honor code. If we do have any country-specific details, then we would put it here. For example, we do have a set of information for Mongolians, which is written in Mongolian, that helps them understand what they need to do. They've had some special processes set up by the leadership of the Church of Mongolia about how they need to do online classes before they can apply to come to campus. So that explains all of that. And let me go back to the home page. Okay, also right on the right are the dates that are really important. So for the fall semester, it says that they must do the English test by August 25th, select classes by the 28th, and pay for classes by the 31st. And then classes start on the 14th and end on December the 15th. And then the next one is the winter semester with some contact details down here. So that's basically as the website, very simple. And then when students are ready, they click on apply. And this takes them through a reasonably simple application process. I'm gonna, I need a new Gmail account so I can pretend to be a brand new person. So I'm gonna pause my video, do that, and come back in a second. Okay, so I've just created a new Gmail account. Here it is over here, and it's nothing in the inbox. I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna, on this page, we just say create a new account. Now if they're a returning student, they just put their email address and the password they selected last time in here, and then they can continue to add classes for a different semester. So anyway, so I'm not going to log in, but I'm going to create a new account, and I'm going to put in my new email address, and I'm going to put in a new password for this new account. I create my account, and now I'm in. So now I have to fill in this information. The important parts here are to make sure the country is accurate so we can get the right cost for the students. So if we're going to put to the Philippines, down to P, and we have to do it again. Always to verify. And I'm going to fill in this page and then come back. Okay, so I've magically filled in this page, my name, my country, my address. I've just put in any characters there, and you can click this button to make both addresses the same. There's your home address and your mailing address, and we're going to simplify that to maybe only have one address soon. And then at the bottom you put in your religious affiliation, mostly members of the church, very few non-members. President Wheelwright doesn't want too many new non-members in the system, if any. So you put in the ward, the stake, the bishop's name, and then you click save and continue. And it tells you what your cost per credit will be. And so in this case it's telling me it will be $10. Okay, And then there's a second page, and now my phone number and my date of birth. I'm just putting in anything. And then once again I'm putting in my country. This is the third verification. And this is of citizenship. And I do think we're going to simplify this because some of this used to be required but probably isn't for the online side of things, but is if you're going to be a full student. And then your ethnic origin, marital status, if you've previously been accepted at BYU, if you're a teacher in the ITEP program, and if that's true, you'd have to apply in a different place. If you've currently got a CSNet ID, now somebody who's applied through bsmart.com has a CSNet ID, and they'd have to put it in here. So put mine in, and these are not relevant for anybody who's at a distance. And this is important: is English your first or native language? And no, if I'm from the Philippines, probably. And I click Save and Continue. Now it's going to give me a page about the honor code, and I've got to commit to the honor code. I say yes, I agree to abide by the honor code, and then I continue, and now I'm going to the English test. So this is something all the students have to do if they're not natural English speakers. They click on this to read a PDF document, and then after that they also have to watch this video, and then they have to write an essay which they can submit here. And it tells them they can choose one of these two topics to write the essay on, and then after that they click Save Essay. But they also have this video that they have to do. So they do an essay and a video, so we can see their writing and how they speak, their ability to communicate. And they tell us these 4 things, and then this shows the 4 different ways they can send us their video. And then when they've done those things, they click on Finish. Please grade my English test. This is just a test. Save my essay, and then say please grade my English test. It says it's going to be queued for grading, and once somebody grades it, they'll get an email telling them their score. Once they've got a score, and I need to do this so you can see the next part of it, so I'm going to pause it and go and give myself a score. Okay, so I did the English grade, and then where's my, you'll see I get an email in my Gmail account, and it automatically tells me that I've got this grade. Okay, so it tells me I've been graded, and now I can register for classes. So now I sign back in to this system, and now it takes me straight to the Add Drop Classes page. It opens that up, and it shows me the next semester I've got nothing enrolled in the current semester, but my next semester down here is where I can add classes. Here's all the classes I'm allowed to add based on my English level, and I can just start adding them. So the EIL classes, if I want to do those, then I click on the class. It tells me about it, gives me information, and then I click Add Class, and then it confirms. So it says by clicking Add Class, you recognize that the section you're adding expects 12 hours of work each week. If I'm okay with that, I click Add Class. And now you see it over on the left, and it shows me my total cost down here, how many credits, my expected workload. If I want to drop that class, I decide against it, I click on drop, and then it confirms again. Maybe instead I want to do an IDD class, Introduction to Instructional Technology. I read it, and I add the class. There it is over there. If I want to add Biology 100, I add the class. And there I go. So I've got my 2 classes, my $60 fee, my 6 credits. It tells me I'm going to work about 18 hours per week. And then I click on Payment, and it tells me how I can pay. And this is by credit card system, and you need to know your BYU ID. So you can't do the payment until we've created an ID for you. The lady in my office called Ivy Kiave, she's the one that creates these IDs manually. So a day or 2 after the application's been done, they'll get an email from her saying that they've got an ID, and then they'll be able to use that to finish the payment. And then again, we have to manually come in and change this to say paid, so it's a manual process once that Ivy has looked through the payments, and so students don't need to worry if it says unpaid after they've paid. And then once students have taken classes, they would be able to see their history of classes here. And that's really it for the application. Then we actually have to add them to the classes, and so the classes themselves are in a system called Canvas. The company is called Instructure, their product is called Canvas, and it looks like this. So once a student is in a class, the class looks like this. So the name of the class at the top, and all of the assignments in the class are in a top-down format. They're in modules, so here's a first module. It shows the date that it's due, it shows the points that it's worth, and all the student has to do is click on it. The Q means they're going to take a quiz. So in this case, they click on it, and it would show them some materials of some kind. So here's a video that they would play. I did a tutorial just introducing people to online classes, and so they watch this video, and then after they've watched the video, then they take the quiz. Now this has already been taken. In fact, I'm actually pretending to be a user. So this isn't me. I'm logged in as a user, and they already did this quiz, so it tells them the scores that they got. Okay, so I can click on the home button to go back, and then I would click on the next assignment, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and the check marks show me when I've done something. So this student did all these things, and all the way down to about this period, and then they stopped doing work in this class. So for this student, the next thing to do would be this assignment. So in this assignment, if we click on it, then it's going to take me to a page that has some links to some PDFs, and they have to read this PDF, and then they have to do a video where they record themselves using webcam just like I'm doing now, and they have to explain what they've learned and answer these questions. And they click on submit assignment to submit their video, and they can record it in a number of different ways which we give them training on, and they can either use a digital camera, or they can use their web camera, or there's lots of different ways they can do that. But this way we can see students, and they can't hide. They have to present their understanding of the topic, and we really do get an idea of how much they know, and we get to know them, and we love getting to know the students and seeing them, and they get to see each other, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm moving really fast, so this is to make sure this is a short presentation. The student sees on the right hand side a to-do list, so it tells them that this assignment it was due, it's past due now, but it gives them all of these to-do lists, and it also gives them recent feedback, so they can click on the recent feedback, the grades that they got, and see why they got those grades. So that makes it really easy for a student to see where they're at. Like I said, they just have to move from top to bottom. When they get to the bottom, they've finished the class. That's it. This is the last assignment, and that's all they need to know is how to do that. Now, one of the things that they do is they do their student introduction videos. So in these classes, we use a video a lot, so that we can see students and they can see each other. And we find that students connect with each other, and they can be in different places of the world, and they make great connections when they see each other. So they're on these pages. This is an introduction page, for example. They watch an introduction video by a teacher or tutor, and who introduces themselves, about the class, shares
Hello
their
students,
testimony.
welcome to Religion 121 Bookworm Part 1. My name is Lucia Toa.
So we're not going to watch all of that, but then the students themselves also record themselves and also respond to two other students. So here we have all these students in the class who've uploaded videos and responded to each other. See if I can pick on somebody.
Aloha, I am Siru Liu in Taiwan, and I am a mom. I have 3 children, and I got baptized in 2004. I am the teacher of primary now, and
here's a response to her. So that was her video, and these students responded.
Hello, Haising Julu. This is Alan Shumway. Nice to meet you. I like the part about you talking about you having 3 kids. Likewise, I have 3 boys of my own, ages 4.
And you see that they make connections, and they have different backgrounds, different lives, but they talk about each other, and it's great to watch. And that's the whole class. Now we do in some classes we do discussions in this same way, where we ask students to give their interpretation of a certain topic, and then also respond and agree, disagree with other students, and they have discussions. They see each other, but they don't have to have live. We rarely do like live Skype discussions. Mostly is they record it and they send it. Somebody watches it, they record their response, and they send it. And teachers or tutors give video feedback to students from time to time, sometimes text, but they also sometimes send